Oh, there it goes, okay, good. Can we stand up and do the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, call the meeting to order and do a roll call, please.
Sure. Trustee Wakely, Trustee Carranza, Trustee Lacewell, President Bank,
Aye.
Trustee AG,
Here.
Trustee Wolford, here, Trustee Pennell,
Here.
Tom Green.
Okay, we have a quorum. So can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Okay, before we approve it, what I would like to do is move the solar project to the top of the list instead of having it near the bottom, so I can get that over with,
Okay.
okay? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next, approve the minutes. These are the business meeting minutes from Tuesday, March 26th.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next are our bills. They're a little higher, and I'll explain why. Commonwealth Edison changed everybody's accounts, and I don't know if you guys had a problem with it, but we did. There were like 2 months where they didn't automatically send you the email for the bill, so that's what happened here. So when I get to the Worcester Street ComEd bill, I'll explain it, okay? In the meantime, testing, sewer testing 146, 146, water 100, sewer testing 146, and sewer testing, water testing 200, and sewer testing 146. MediaCom 53040, O'Reilly Automotive 4146, domain listing, that's for our website, 288. AHW has some maintenance done on our equipment, 7448. We got a lockbox for the building at the request of the fire department, 389. Stranded Associates, 21262. Nicor, 4564. 14922, 4231, and and next is ComEd. You'll see it's $13,623.26. That's for 3 months. The first 2 months of that 3 months total a little over $11,000. We were averaging $55, $85, $48 a month for electric. Now that the solar plant is up and running, our bill current was $2452.31, which was a savings of $3,133.16 a month, every month for the next 30 years, and it's going to go up because Edison's rates are going to go up and ours are not. We have a fixed rate, 4.9 cents per kilowatt hour for the next 30 years. It's clean energy, and we don't have to maintain it or anything. So it's doing exactly what it said it was going to do. They finished putting the last piece of fence up. Now we're going to come in and put in their ground cover and their shrubbery and stuff, and hopefully it'll last a long time. So now ComEd 2939.53, 5201, 2535, 1687.70, 3598 for Core and Main, Ace Hardware 2499. Barrick Switzer 980 and 31226, and Hawkins Water Chemicals 3198, and I'm sorry, the chemicals were 312, and Menards and McChesney was 3198. Total is 22,370.19, of which 42,60.63 comes out of the general fund, and 18,109.56 comes out of water and sewer. Are there any questions? Can I have a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call?
Trustee Wakely, Trustee Carranza, Trustee Lacewell, President Bank,
Aye.
Trustee AG,
Aye.
Trustee Wolford, Trustee Pennell.
Okay. Any public comments? Okay. All right, let's get on with the solar project. As you know, 2 weeks ago, we had NextEra Energy come in and make a presentation to us regarding a piece of property off of Cemetery Road that abuts the village on 2 sides, and there's like 27 homes that abut that property, and we got feedback for the village, and everybody who sits on this board has had a couple of weeks to digest everything, and I have some additional information I'd like to give before we go any further with the conversation. I had a Boone County board member in my office last week, and he happens to be the gentleman that farms that piece of property. And he informed me that the county did indeed reject the project because there's this convoluted formula that's used for farmland as far as how productive it is, etc. And the cutoff for converting farmland into something else, the number is 82, and they told me that this piece of property grades out at an 83.5, which is just over the threshold, but it's over the threshold, and therefore the county doesn't want to convert that to anything besides farmland right now. We got a bunch of online comments about this, and I'm not surprised, but I don't think you saw mine on my email, did you?
No.
So I got, Crystal gave me a list of comments. They were -20 and +2, and on my email, I had -6 and +1, so that's 26-3 against. I want everybody to understand that when I have somebody come in here to make a presentation to the board, does not necessarily mean that I'm in favor of that presentation. I'm one member here, I'm one vote. There's 6 other people that get to decide what we do around here, and I think they should have as much information on these things as I do, so I invite people to come in here and make a presentation to the board. If I tried to make people think that I was in favor of this project because we had this presentation, I'm sorry that I confused everybody, but that wasn't the case, okay? I just felt like whenever we have somebody come in here that wants to annex property, or open a business, or change codes, or wants to get variances, they need to come before the board and let the board hear what everybody has to say, and then the board can make a decision on what we do to go forward with that. So, with that, what I want to do is I just want to have a straw poll of the board, if you will, as to whether we want to do anything with this project or not, okay? And I just as soon do it by voice vote. So is anybody here who's in favor of this project moving forward? And what, you are?
I am.
You are?
I am.
Okay, and those that are opposed?
I am. I am.
Okay, and I am too. I don't think that the people that are abutting that piece of property want to look at that out their back door. I know I don't, okay? Now, there was a proposal about a year ago to put one on Cemetery Road across the street, all right? Which is in plain view of my house. And it's across the street, it's in the county, there's nothing I can do about it, so I was gonna learn to live with it, all right? But that's not just over the fence from my house where I can reach out and touch something. And I know they don't make any noise, and I know there's no glare, but people don't want an industrial piece of equipment, 50 feet from their back door. It just doesn't make any sense, that's not why we live here. So, I'm gonna let you know that as far as the board is concerned, this project isn't gonna go anywhere. We're not interested in annexing any property. Now, if you wanna come back at some other time and see if anybody's changed their mind, you're more than welcome to, but at this point, I would consider this a dead issue. You can speak.
Some, comments. Actually, it's very interesting, you mentioned.
I need you to speak up.
Yeah. So you see, the value you mentioned, it's called something called a prime agriculture land. I think the score is 82 above. I think that we actually run a latest report with the county, back to last month, and the score came out is 81.88. I think the 83, that number was out of date if you that information. And regarding the landscape, we actually before we came here, my colleague Ross and I, we were in that neighborhood. We take a walk, and then kind of see if we live here, right? Can we see the solar site? if we don't have like any like, you know, like a landscape buffer or vegetative like trees like growing there, yeah, we're gonna see the farm, like the solar side.
I don't think I don't want to cut you off, but I don't think the level of productivity of the farmland is really the key issue here. I think the key issue here is people just don't want it in their
I
backyard.
have a comment. You guys sat here and you said you have all this savings from ComEd because you put solar in.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it seems two-faced to me that you're against this project. There'll be trees around the vegetation for the buffer. It's no different than looking out and seeing a field full of pigs or cows or whatever's out there.
I tell you what, I feel like I'm here as a representative of the people in the village.
And the gentleman that stopped in to see you, he does farm that. So why would he want the solar panel going in and lose farm ground?
But regardless of the fact that he was talked to by a board member, I've also talked to other residents, and most of the residents in our village are not for it.
And
And
that's fine.
unfortunately, I
If the
sit here on
village
the
isn't for
board.
it, if the village isn't for it, and they don't want their savings, they don't want their community solar, that's fine. But I don't like to sit here and listen to the farmland, because I heard the same thing you did, that it was just under prime farmland, not just over.
But the bottom line is, it isn't the farmland that's the problem, it's the location that's the problem. It just doesn't seem to me, and most of the people in town, that it's appropriate to have this abutting 27 residential properties, okay? There is so much open property to put solar on. I mean, we've got these huge solar projects they just put up at 76 and 173 that are not next to anybody's houses.
You know what, that's fine if you guys don't want it, but let me tell you one other thing. That project was approved through the county. The time limit ran out on it because Illinois had a lottery. They weren't selected in the lottery. And then Illinois was supposed to have future lotteries that never happened. So that was at one point approved through the county.
Then I guess your choice is to go back to the
Well, I'm
county.
sure they will.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, one thing I want to add is like, you know, like we understand like the concerns that we like, you know, we have like abutting like residents living there. I think like we're looking at the size there, actually there are some like trees already planting there, and our plans basically add more trees and create like a solid like vegetation like buffer, so that like people like even from the backyard, you won't see like the.
I'll tell you what.
solar side.
I don't know if I should do this or not.
So-
But here's the
No,
thing.
okay.
It
I tell you what,
doesn't
we've
matter
had
how
this
many
discussion.
trees you put in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
The
the
people
people
don't
in
want
town.
it.
Hold on, everybody. Hey, this is my meeting.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How many people that are in the audience are for the solar farm and how many are against? This is a democracy, isn't it?
Right.
Okay.
So
And
And that's why we took this.
that's why we voted, okay?
Way it took
The vote was 3-1 against, so that's it, all right? If you
What about
can,
the audience?
Tim, you don't live in the
Okay,
village.
you need to get control of your
Hey,
meeting.
hey,
On to the next-
And
you,
next, and I'll be right next to the property.
Right.
you're out of order, all right? We have passed that part of the discussion, we're done, okay? So we're not doing it. All right, next on the agenda is, I want to talk about a new employee. As you know, Skylar gave us his notice, and last Friday was his last day. So our new employee now is a guy named Michael Munger. He just lives over here on North Street and 4th Street, I think, or North and 5th Street. And he's got some extensive credentials. He was 30 years at Chrysler as a lead man. He's done small engine repair, he's built houses, he's done plumbing, snow plowing, 20 years in the Capron Fire Department, and he's a lifelong resident here. So Skylar was making $20.50 an hour. We started Michael at $20 an hour and told him we'd give him the additional 50 cents after 30 days. And I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen. So if you see somebody new riding around on our lawnmowers out there and driving the truck, that's who it is. So wave at him and make him welcome, okay? All right. Next is the ordinance for next year's budget, okay? Ordinance number 24-5, the appropriations ordinance. We went over this a little bit the last time. Bottom line is we show a surplus on this budget of $71,000. And that is with doing a number of infrastructure upgrades, and wage increases for our employees, et cetera. So, as again, what I tell you every year, that this is basically a best guess scenario of how we're gonna do things for the next 12 months. And as necessary, we will come in and do a reconciliation if things don't work out the way I think they do, okay? So with that, I would like a motion to pass this ordinance.
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a roll call, please.
Sure. Trustee Wakely, trustee Carranza, trustee Lacework, President Bang.
Aye.
Trustee Agee.
Aye.
Trustee Wolford.
Aye.
Trustee Pennell.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Now we got money to spend. Okay, next on the list is you eliminate the water rate increase, okay? We talked about this last time, that there was a bump in the increase of 6%, and it was done via ordinance, so it was legal, but they didn't extrapolate out for the next 9 years of what the rates were gonna look like, so they've been out of whack for a while. And going back and trying to figure out how to give people back money if they overpaid and stuff is really a difficult proposition at best, so I felt the best thing to do was just do away with the last increase on here. And basically, the last increase, it adds 18 cents to the first 2,000 gallons of water, and it adds 44 cents to the first 2,000 gallons on the sewer side. So it's not a lot, but I figure in fairness, over 12 months, we'll just do away with it. We don't really need it. And I don't believe in raising people's rates and taxes just because we can. I don't believe that we need it. So, we have a resolution here that will allow us to freeze that rate, for 2024, and then from then on, we will be able to, raise rates as we see necessary,
And Mr.
based
President,
on any.
clarify, this is an ordinance that amends our code and changes the language of 8-1-4, which used to lay out all those rates, but now it says, here's the rate for 2024, it's the same as 2023, and thereafter, it'll stay at that level until a resolution, in the future, you'll do resolutions, whether you do it annually or every other year or whatever, you'll do a resolution to
Right.
reset the rate.
And outside corporate limits still, everybody outside the corporate limits still pays 1.5 times the
That's
rate if
exactly,
they're
that's
hooked up.
exactly the way the ordinance read,
Right.
on outside.
So can I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 24-6.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call?
Yes. Trustee Wakely, sorry, I got a little full before. Let's start over. Trustee Wakely, trustee Carranza, trustee Lacework, President Bang.
Aye.
Trustee Agee.
Aye.
Trustee Wolford.
Aye.
And trustee Pennell.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda is paving access to the road to the water tower. I talked to Norm Stives, who's on the board of the Lions Club, and they are willing to participate in this. I don't know how much yet. They have their board meeting to approve an amount, but they are going to pitch in for this project. Nobody can find any written agreement as to who's supposed to maintain this. I'm assuming this whole thing was put together back in like 1985 when the new water tower was put up, and back then a lot of handshake agreements were made, and it would make sense to me that somebody would say, yeah, you can have access to it if you maintain it, and that's what we've pretty much been doing. So I just feel like we're throwing good money after bad if we don't pave this road and get it taken care of once and for all. It helps with snow removal in the wintertime, and if we have to get to the facilities, et cetera. I think it benefits the village, it benefits the Lions Club, it benefits our utility contractors, everybody that uses it. It's not a tremendous amount of money. The bids were, we had 2 bids. One was from Majestic for $16,500, and the other was through the county for $13,750. And I'm assuming the Lions Club is gonna pitch in a couple of grand at least on this, so it'd be somewhere around 11, 12 grand. So I had this resolution drawn up to say not to exceed 15,000, just in case gives us a little bit of a buffer, okay? I would like somebody to make a motion to approve this.
do we know how, we don't
We don't
know?
know how much the Lions is gonna pitch in until their meeting on the 1st. I'd say wait until we find out what they're going to help
Yeah.
with.
So we
It's
need,
their property. It's not our property.
Well, I realize
It's their
that.
property.
I realize that, but it's a pain in the butt.
It's our tower, right?
Hmm?
It's our tower. So why-
Yeah, it's our tower, it's our pump house, so we need to get to it, and I just don't feel like putting gravel in it.
The only thing I can ask is if we waited out, can we vote on this at the first meeting? Because with it doing with county project, they're going to be putting in a bid for how much asphalt.
Yeah,
is
they're
going to
putting
be
in their,
needed for
they're
this
putting out
project.
their request for bids
So they're
tomorrow.
going to
I
take
mean,
from
Thursday.
that project as well from us doing North Street. So that's why we're getting a
Yeah.
cut in the, in the bid.
I'm sorry, but you'd have to vote on it at the business.
Yeah, so I was wondering that. So I don't know, that could
can we do
be,
that?
well, that could be an issue.
That would be the next business.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they're gonna
Do
pull the
tonight
asphalt
or a
and
month.
everything.
So that's only my only input.
So it's between,
Okay,
because they're gonna do that between our meeting here and then the Lions Club meeting.
I mean,
And
you
if we
could
wait till-
approve it and on the understanding that we won't move forward with it until we hear what the Lions Club does. And then, I mean, we have to trust that Steve's not gonna go ahead and with it unless, just because you approve it doesn't.
I mean, he said
doesn't
they,
mean you have to do
yeah,
it.
they pulled the board, they're gonna put some money in, okay? Because it benefits them too, so they're gonna participate in it, I just don't know at this point how much.
Well, I think if they're willing to work with us, I mean, we should work with them, and that does have a lot of traffic because they do the fire department breakfasts, the lines, and like
Yeah.
you said, we have things that go on up there, so.
Is it in that bad shape where it has to be done this year, or could we wait till next year?
Wait a minute, this is not, this is for the board's discussion.
But it gets regraded how many times throughout the year with the gravel? I
Yeah,
think that's where he's going.
We do
with
it
you're down to
every
probably,
couple of
yeah.
months.
Yeah, it's probably 4 to
It's
5
pretty
times,
bad.
if not more.
Every time it gets wet, we gotta do
does,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we gotta run our trucks over it and stuff, that's not healthy. And plowing it in the wintertime to get the snow off of it's a pain in the butt.
well, I have no problem going ahead with it as long as
All right, well, I
they're
need a-
putting something in with it.
I need a motion.
Then I'll make a motion. What is it, resolution R-2 what?
R-2.
No, it's R-2.
Our
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just R-2.
Okay.
Glenn, you got a
I'll
question?
second it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Because we like to keep.
Trustee
working with
Wakely,
people in
trustee
town.
Carranza, trustee Lacewell, president Bank.
Aye.
Trustee AG,
Aye.
trustee Wolford,
Aye.
trustee Panel.
Aye.
Okay.
I just think it's good relations to keep trying to work with somebody.
And we are gonna use the water, we're gonna use the county's, quote on that. All right, next on here is the, permission to add the sign for the Apostolic Church to our village sign. I really don't see any reason why we can't do it. There's room for it, so the Lions Club's up there, the Lutheran Church is up there, so,
Yeah, I have no problem with
Okay.
that. I'll make a motion if you need a motion.
okay, can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? All right, good. Next is, we did the solar project, all right? Next is sickage. This is basically, this is our contract for the year, okay? And I don't want to go over every little detail, but the biggies are the rates, okay? So their staff rate was 137 an hour, it's now going to 145. Their senior rate was 173, it's going to 185. Their manager, they didn't have on here the last time, but the partner was 336, it's gonna be 355. So they've got about a 6 or 7% rate increase on this for the next year. I would imagine with inflation and everything, that's not a bad number. So, I'd like to make a motion, I'd like to have somebody make a motion to approve this contract for us.
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Wakely, trustee Carranza, trustee Lacewell, president Bank.
Aye.
Trustee AG,
Aye.
trustee Wolford,
Aye.
trustee Panel.
Aye.
And just so you know, we have our annual financial audit scheduled for May 29th.
That's correct.
Okay, same group of people. They did a real good job for us last year, and it's one of the reasons I like to keep everybody together. They work together really well, Sickich and this other organization, and we get a pretty good product out of it, so, okay? The house on Third Street,
We have all the title work, my assistant was on vacation last week.
Yes.
She was on spring break. She's back, we have all the information we need, and we'll keep that moving forward.
okay, all right, so that's moving forward. Okay, next, trustee Wakely's not here, trustee Carranza's not here,
Steve,
trustee
he had one-
Lakeswell's
he
not
had
here.
Steve was
one more
still talking.
Well,
Or, Tom was still
I was gonna
talking.
make a mild report on the solar thing.
Oh,
Remember, this is an annexation, so we have no obligation. It's not like it's in the village and they're making a zoning request and they can make the request whether we want them to or not. This is property not in the village. We never are required to annex. They can't force it. So, it's a very preliminary stage. So I'm just wanting to remind everybody.
at any rate, it's not happening, but I want you all to just understand that if somebody comes with me something, even if it sounds stupid,
No, I agree.
I'm gonna let them come in here and make a presentation to the 6 people that sit here, because that's what's supposed to happen,
You
okay?
don't have to agree on it.
All right,
No, no.
all right, next, I'm gonna do the financial report, because Melissa's not here. So quickly, the general fund, we have $1,075,266.84, which is an increase of about 20 grand over last month. MFT fund, we have $204,357.60. And water fund, we have $581,726.09. Going over the actual report, under our administrative revenue, we budgeted for $497,200, and the actual is gonna be closer to $583,442, which is good. I always like to have more money than that. Salaries for elected, we had a budget of $39,400. It's gonna come in at $39,123, or even less, because every time we don't have somebody here, we don't pay them. Administrative expenses, we had a budget of $244,700, and it's coming out at $291,799, but I think that's gonna come down one more time, because we've only spent $265 so far. Under the streets budget, maintenance budget, that budget was, where am I? Hold on just a second.
160,500.
I didn't turn the page. There we go. Yeah, the budget was $244,700, coming in at $290, and then streets, there we go. Okay. Total expense, yeah, our budget was $165,000, and then right now it's at $86,000, so that's looking great. And under water and sewer, our total revenue was budgeted for $657,000, and it's coming in closer to $708,000. And the water expenses budgeted was $352,500, it's coming in closer to $255,000. And under wastewater, we're at $490,000, and it's supposed to come in at around $485,000. So we're actually gonna end up with a surplus. I added all this up, and we're actually gonna end up with a surplus close to $100,000 for the fiscal year, which ends next week. So we're in better shape than what we thought we were, okay? Any questions? Okay, next, trustee Agee,
Nothing.
Wallflower?
Nothing.
All right, trustee Pinal.
I have the water report. Item number 1, the hydrant flushing has been completed. Item number 2, we've located 4 additional valves, 2 of them that are on maps and 2 that were buried under road surfaces. And number 3, the parts are in for the subdivision lift station, and we're looking at scheduling 1 pump to be repaired at a time.
And if you remember, we approved that, each pump's gonna cost around 11 grand, and we're doing them one at a time to keep the lift station up and operating. Okay, anybody got anything else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.